Hello, YouTube world. My name is Robbie Williams, and welcome to the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel. Now, people, just a week ago, I uploaded a video on this channel, and let me tell you, it is doing very well. I gave a testimony, and then we talked about diabetes mellitus. And the reviews were off the charts. I really love the way people chimed in, people talking, people asking questions and everything. But there was one particular person that reached out to me. And this guy's a gospel recording artist. And just say his first name, Stanley. I just say Stanley. But he reached out to me about the Mediterranean diet because I did put that in that video. I talked about that briefly in that video. And after he reached out to me, I told him, I said, in the next video, I will be discussing the Mediterranean diet. And here we are. With no further ado, welcome back to my channel, people. Let's dive into this. The topic today is a good diet for people diagnosed with diabetes and high blood pressure, other diseases as well. But I'm focusing on diabetes because this is one of the reasons why I decided to look towards a diet that can better suit me, better that I can try, that is not too outrageous, not asking much of me. And I also were looking for a diet that I can back off meats. And I've been working on that for a while now. So first of all, let's get into this. Over the past century, when we think about it, people have always been questioning longevity. And when we think about longevity, we think about how well people take care of themselves. We think about the amount of years that they live. Some people living from 85 years on up to 100 years of age. And when you talk about that, you got scientists just stirring around because they're saying, hey, well, now these people living so long. And one of the things that we learn from a medical and scientific point of view, it is how you behave, how you eat, how you exercise. All these things is just surrounded the idea of longevity. And one of the things that is a major point that is being made is diet. So when we look at longevity in individuals, the way they improve, the sustainability and the health measures that people are taking, you know, we're working as healthcare providers and specialists and people in that arena trying to just get a grip on, hey, what's going on? And what we learned that it says, what we learned that due to extended exposure to bad habits like smoking, inactivity, that's mean not enough physical activity, and poor diet, chronic illnesses like cancer, diabetes, obesity have grown as people live longer. So they notice that although we're having people to live longer, but so are diseases surrounding these people that lives long. Now, I want to live long too. And I know a lot of other people do. But I don't want to be in my mid 80s and I'm with this chronic illness and I'm just suffering. I don't want to go through that. So whatever I can do now to get my body regulated to where I can be in those late stages in the years in the 80s and 90s and not suffering as much with different types of illnesses or diseases, I'm going to find out what I need to do in order to make sure that I don't go through that type of thing. So what do people think about? They think about, what are you eating? So let's talk about the Mediterranean diet. When we talk about the Mediterranean diet, I went back and I did some more research because I just want to make sure when I give this content, it is great content and it's not content that's just thrown together. You know, this is good. So the Mediterranean diet is currently recognized as the best nutritional strategy for maintaining health and preventing diseases according to dietary recommendations and chronic disease specific guidelines, according to McManus 2023. So she's a registered dietitian. And this is what she stated in her comments. She also said the Mediterranean diet has been demonstrated to improve both mental and physical functions and lower the risk of heart disease, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, some malignancies, depression, and frailty in older people. So there's some great components in this diet that is actually working. And I can testify, I've been on that. When I first started the Mediterranean diet, this was like modified because I'm incorporating other things in there. But as I go along, I'm getting better and better at it. Because number one, I don't eat a lot of red meats. I do not eat pork. I do not, I eat poultry, but not a lot of it. Like if I have, I put my meal together, instead of having, like I used to have 3 pieces of chicken, I'm not gonna lie, but now it's 1 piece of chicken. And I try to make sure that my chicken are baked and less fried foods and less fried meats and stuff like that. Okay, moving on. Let me make this disclaimer too, that no information in this video regardless of when it is published, should ever be considered as a replacement for specific medical advice from your PCP, primary care physician, or another trained professional that you actually go and see. A healthcare provider that you going to visit with. So this video is not a replacement for that. I'm not telling everybody to go jump on the Mediterranean diet because there are components of it that some people might be allergic to. So remember that. You check with your doctor just like I did. I actually confronted my doctor and said, hey, listen, I need to know something. I like the Mediterranean diet. What do you think about it? And then he elaborated and he explained things to me. And lo and behold, I'm on it. Now let's talk about the Mediterranean. When we talk about the Mediterranean Sea, we're talking about the continent of Africa. And we're talking about the countries that surround, like Egypt, Israel, Morocco, and Algeria. And there's Turkey and all those others around there. These are the countries that borders that area of the Mediterranean Sea, and this is the diet that they sticks to. This is what they normally would eat. People there would normally eat like this. And I'm going to break it down for you. First of all, it says the Mediterranean diet traditionally is based on foods available in the country that borders the Mediterranean Sea. So the foundation for this healthy diet includes the richness of plant foods. It also says that it includes fruits, vegetables, whole grain, nuts, legumes, which are minimally processed, seasonally fresh, grown locally. And it's just like we used to have it here in America, where we had less processed food and foods coming straight out of people's gardens. That you would go to these like farm shares or whatever. A lot of people used to pick peas on half. They go straight to the in the country area where these farmers would have their peas out there, and they would go on Saturday mornings, and you would see a lot of women out there that would pick their peas and bring them home, and you would see they would spread like a sheet, or they would spread newspaper all over the floor, and they would pull those peas out, and they would shell those peas. They would spend over half the day shelling peas. That's fresh vegetables. They will have the man going, there will be a man going around town in the communities yelling out, I got fresh okras, I got this, I got that, tomatoes. And you would see that. That's fresh food coming straight out the garden. We used to have that a lot, not anymore. But if you go to these other countries, they still practice those things. And they don't process their foods like we do over here as much. So when we're talking about the Mediterranean diet, and we're talking about the different types of foods that is not processed as much, let's go down the list here. We're talking about items such as, first of all, they will use olive oil as the principal source of fat. And they would cook in olive oil. They would, there was someone that I met that would take olive oil and put a little garlic in it. And he would toast his bread and he would dip it. Just like somebody would take cheese and put over their bread, but this guy would dip his in the olive oil with the garlic in it. And that's what he would eat, like for lunch or something like that. And that is very healthy. Cheese and yogurt consumed daily, low to moderate amounts. Remember, everything in moderation. Fish and poultry consumed in low, moderate amounts, a few times a week. This is how they consume their diet. This is how they eat it. This is not a big plate of food. I see a lot of stuff on Facebook where you see people showing this plate and they got sausage, you know, wings and all different types of meat in one plate. And then you have my God, you have all kinds of stuff. And I'm saying people will sit down and eat all of that. And it's not good when you're talking about your health. And people, I'm just telling, this is me giving you what this diet has to offer. You can keep eating the way you want to eat, but this is me giving you an idea of what the Mediterranean diet is. So we got the fish and we got the poultry, but then when we get to red meat, it say, if you eat red meats, small amounts. Small amounts. And me, I'm trying to wean off beef, but when I do eat it, it's well done and small amounts. I may eat right now, I may eat a hamburger once a month. I may go in like Wendy's once a month. That's just how I scale back. So I would rarely consume beef, not like I used to. I used to hit them fast foods all the time. Not now. Okay, fresh fruits and desserts. You can do that, but moderate. You want to moderation. Sweets, you want to be careful with your sugary foods. You want to go now. Let me tell you something. That diet does like honey. Honey is one of those, if you want to call it a sweet, honey is one that the Mediterranean diet do favor. So, but that's only a few times a week as well. And say with the Mediterranean diet, what you would get from that is a balanced bacterial population in the gastrointestinal system. And what it does, it helps your intestines. And that means you can digest foods better. Another thing, less chances of developing polyp that could even be cancerous, depending on how long, you don't go and get, you just stay away from going to get your colonoscopy and you wait years and years. Nowadays, they can do it now, and I think they're saying 3 to 5 years before you get another one. But some people wait 10 years before they get a colonoscopy. And if they find a cancerous polyp, they try to remove it. So one thing about it is saying that the Mediterranean diet is a good diet when it comes down to gastrointestinal system, your gastrointestinal system. And what it does, it says the dietary pattern of this diet, which is rich in bioactive ingredients and beneficial nutrients. And what it does, it restricts opportunistic microorganisms. So it's working on your body's behalf when you eat like that, because you're eating mostly greens, leafy foods. You're eating your peas, your squash, all of these vegetables is good for you. Your okra, tomatoes, you name it. These are the type of foods you're supposed to be eating when it comes down to your body. So, for long life expansion, here are ways to aim towards extending a healthy human lifespan. You want to exercise regularly. You want to eat a healthy diet, maintain a healthy weight. Obesity is not your friend. Okay? It wasn't mine, and I'm willing to bet it's not anyone else's. Like I said, when I went into that hospital, I was weighing 240 pounds. I came out at 198, and I feel a whole lot better. So it's not your friend. And this is just straight up health talk. Not to get on anybody, but health talk. Trying to get you where you need to be, where you know what you need to do for your body. Quality sleep. You need sleep. Get your rest. I have a video on that too. Check out my YouTube channel. You'll see it. Stay away from elevated stress. Anything that can raise your stress level, you need to chill. Anything, any activity, and any person or any group of people, stay away from them as much as you can, because when they bring that stress level up, it works against your body. It works against your body. So it also says that, going out to a park, hanging out at a park sometime, like some people walk their dog at a park. That's perfect. You go out of the park, what happens? You interact with people. And that truly lowers stress levels. And you don't want to isolate yourself too much. And that's why it's good to get out, go to the park, walk around, you bump into people you know, hey, you have a little short conversation, keep it moving. It's good for you. Now, when we going back to the plant-based Mediterranean diet, beneficially modulates the gut microbiota and immune system. So it's regulating the body. It's helping your body because you add in the nutrients that you need to have rather than the stuff that you don't need in your body. Studies have shown in populations like the population of obese people have shown that there's a continuous, when you have a continuous diet, like the Mediterranean diet, it dramatically alters the gut microbiota by comparing the bacteria DNA from fecal samples. So that's how they tested it. But they do a sample size of people. And they go ahead and they get a lot of people that volunteer to go through these trials, and they test them. And what they do, this is what they found out, that over a period of time, people that is on the Mediterranean diet have shown great success in their health. So research has constantly found that a greater adherence to the Mediterranean diet is associated with a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, and other things, other diseases that is connected with dementia, and reduce all causes of mortality. People, I hope that's enough to get you motivated to just go and check some diets out. It don't have to be the Mediterranean if you don't want that. I chose it because of my health, and it fits me perfect. I hope this short video on the Mediterranean diet is what some people needed. I hope you all enjoy it. And like I said, this is the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel. Think, 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 and be aggressive about your thinking to learn more, to analyze more, to challenge things more, and grow. My name is Robbie Williams. I am your host, and be blessed.